Hey guys, this is David, St. Michael's Armament. I'm out here on this beautiful 100-degree South Texas day, and we are doing the live fire review of the Swampfox Optics Kingslayer micro red dot sight. This is a really nifty little red dot sight. We're going to put it through its paces today. The test platform we're going to use is going to be the Century Arms C308 7.62 NATO semi-automatic rifle. Our ammunition we're going to be using, it's going to be zeroed with some M80 ball, readily available, standard surplus. I've got some South African 150 grain full metal jacket surplus. I've got some Monarch 145 grain full metal jacket steel case, new production ammunition. And I've got some Monarch boxed PPU marked 150 grain soft point ammunition. I've got 200 rounds of ammunition, and our test platform will be very simple. We're going to zero the rifle with the M80 ball ammunition. We're going to run 200 rounds of mixed 7.62 NATO and 308 spec ammunition through the rifle and optic and see if the rifle and optic hold zero. Once the 200 rounds are complete, we're then going to put another magazine into it with the M80 ball and make sure that the optic has not lost zero. Like I said, it's about 100 degrees out today, so if I'm a little glistening, hey, it is what it is. But we're going to have some fun and we're going to make some noise. See what happens. That hit the steel plate. First shot. Alright, so first three shots with the Swampfox Kingslayer optic. I have not touched the adjustments at all. Straight out of the box onto the rifle. Point of aim would have been here in the center of the plate. First three shots look like about 2 inches right, and the center of the group is about 3 inches, 2 inches low. Now, whenever you make adjustments on this red dot, the first generation does not have clicks. It has little tick marks, but there's no audible click. That is something that I've already talked to Swampfox Optics about, and they said the next generation, that issue has been corrected, so something to look forward to on the Gen 2s. So we're going to go ahead and make a couple quick adjustments. Just center it back up here in the center of the plate and get on with the test. Alright, so we actually attempted to do 2 rounds of testing today with the Swampfox Optics Kingslayer micro red dot. The first one was the one that we discussed earlier with the 200 rounds of 308 out of the Century Arms C308 rifle. It passed. Had no problems. It had 50 yards. It was holding on the steel plate, 8-inch steel plate. It's a 3 MOA dot, covered about 1.5 inches at 50 yards, and just nailed it every time to the point that it literally broke the steel plate target. So, optic held up better than the steel plate did. The second round of testing that we're going to do was to mount it on the gas tube of an AK pattern rifle. So, we mounted it on here, shot it, and within about 2 magazines, the optic is still holding tight, but the gas tube itself has worked itself loose. So without a secure method of mounting, any other testing wouldn't do us any good. It'd give us skewed results because the base is not stable. So after about 2 mags, a mag it started coming loose. After 2 mags, it was noticeably loose. And after that, we just called it because, once again, you wouldn't be able to get accurate, reliable results from that testing. So that will have to be postponed for another day. Preferably one where it's not over 100 degrees and about 90 in the shade with no or very little breeze. So that is what it is, but that's the results that we have so far. Stay tuned. We're going to do a tabletop back where we have air conditioning, and we'll get some more results from there. See y'all soon. Hey guys, we're back in the shop now. It was a couple days since we were out in the range doing the shooting, and coming at you now with our final conclusions. The test bed for the 2 series of tests that we attempted was 1, the Century Arms C308. We used a variety of 7.62 NATO spec and 308 spec ammunition. And the Saiga 7.62 by 3.9 converted to AK pattern by our buddies over at TAC 47 Industries. And the results. The testing for the Century Arms C308 was to zero the optic and run 200 rounds through the rifle continuously and see if there's any shift in zero. I can tell you that the muzzle device worked itself loose from firing. The target broke repeatedly, but the optic held. The optic did not lose zero at all through 200 rounds of various 7.62 and 308 ammunition, including mag dumps. The mag dumps were simply because we got tired of resetting the target every 4 shots, and we just decided to go for it. Testing on the Saiga, however. The testing here was to see how the optic held up against the heat from the radiating through the gas tube. The problem that we ran into is that this particular gas tube on this particular rifle, after about a magazine, became noticeably loose, so there was no point in confirming zero. And after 2 magazines, it became loose enough that I was concerned about the gas piston hitting the gas block and damaging something. So the testing was ceased at that point. I will attempt to put this gas tube onto another rifle and see if it does it on that rifle. If it does not, then we'll conclude the testing with that rifle and this gas tube. If it does, then we'll have to find another way of doing that. But the optic did hold up through the testing that was provided. The conditions that we were testing it under, it was approximately 95 degrees, very high humidity, no wind. The optic and rifle had been in the truck, basically closed up for a day or so, exposed to the elements. That's not the most ideal testing, but that's certainly realistic to what a optic will likely be experienced. High heat fluctuations, and then the recoil of the rifles. The reason we tested it with the C308 was because the 308 has more recoil than a 5.56, simply put. The roller delay blowback system used on the HK pattern rifles has very violent recoil. They are known for breaking optics. The Swampfox Kingslayer held up just fine. There were a few things that were noticed out there in the field. One, this being a test sample of 1, on this rifle being a test sample of 1, when I mounted the optic, I torqued it down to 25 inch-pounds. After talking to the guys over Swampfox Optics, they advised that it does need to be about 25 foot-pounds with blue thread locker applied. I did not apply blue thread locker whenever I did the unboxing and the initial install, but I did go back and apply the blue thread locker afterwards. Did it off camera, but it was applied. The thought is simply, if it's not installed properly, then it's not a valid test. And there's absolute truth in that. So it was installed properly with blue thread locker, 25 inch-pounds of torque, according to the Fat Wrench torque driver. Out of the box, at 50 yards, it was approximately 2 inches low and 2 inches to the right, straight out of the box. To me, that's pretty cool. The fact that I can get an optic, put it on this rifle, and only be a couple inches off at 50 yards. It'll be slightly more at 100, but you know, that's pretty cool that it's already pretty close to mechanical zero. All right, so after we're done with the C308, we went to the AK. Mounted it on the gas tube, exactly as you see, and actually had trouble getting it on steel. I did not have any larger targets to do zeroing with, and through the limited testing that I was able to do with it, I was not able to actually hit steel, so I was not able to confirm zero. However, what I can tell you is that the gas tube itself became so loose that it wouldn't have mattered anyways. I would not have been able to get an accurate zero on there just because of the mount. I have been in contact once before with the manufacturer about this mount, about it coming loose, and they recommended that I apply a blue Loctite to it, which was done, and it still came loose, so I'll be in contact with them about that. And I'll also be trying it on a different rifle to see if I have the same results. It may be a combination of the rifle and the mount. We'll have to find out. So, what are some of the things that I liked about the Swampfox Optic Kingslayer red dot sight? It weighs almost nothing. With the mount, I believe it is 1.8 ounces. I can confirm that right quick. But it weighs almost nothing. It is incredibly lightweight. It takes up very little real estate on the rifle. There's nothing external to snag on equipment or clothing. Carrying it through the tall weeds and the brush, had no problems, didn't snag on anything at all. One of the things I did not like about it, like I said, it's already been addressed, is the fact that when you're making the elevation and windage adjustments, there's no tactile or audible click to it. Like I said, it's already been addressed, and on the Gen 2s, that'll be corrected. Other than that, that's my only complaint. It does have a 4-hour automatic shutoff, so if you set the rifle down and forget to turn it off, after 4 hours, it'll automatically turn itself off. It's a battery-saving feature. If the battery is left to run continuously, it has a 1,500-hour run life. Do the math, that's roughly 2 months of continuous use. Pretty good for something as small as this. That's pretty impressive. Altogether, would I buy it? If I'm looking for a civilian application rifle optic, yes, absolutely. I've used a lot of optics. I've used optics that are much more expensive. I've used optics that are much less expensive. And for what you pay for this optic, you get a really, really good value. Me personally, as a patrol rifle optic, as a combat optic, I have not done enough testing on this to give a valid answer for that. From what I've seen so far, it appears good. Is it something that I would trust my life and my family's well-being on? I do not have an adequate answer for that, and I'm being honest. So where do I think this optic would perform best? I think this optic makes a great option for a civilian use rifle. Do I think it's rated for military law enforcement use? I don't have enough testing to say yes or no on that. And honestly, I haven't even talked to the guys over at Swampfox if they believe it's rated for that. So I'm not going to recommend it at this time, subject to change as the future progresses. This optic is great if you have a new shooter, somebody who is sensitive to heavy weight of a rifle, and you want something nice, lightweight, simple to use, something fast. A red dot like this is great for that. Once again, something we talked about earlier is the box has this rated for 800 Gs of acceleration. Shockproof G-force is rated up to 800 Gs. I don't know what that means. I know what 800 Gs means, but in real world applications, what is that rated for? I don't know. I can tell you that it handled the Semi-Auto 308 like a champ. There was no problem with this. Talking to the guys over at Swampfox, I'm told that they have customers that put these on 3-inch Magnum 12-gauge shotguns. No problem. If you want to put this on a shotgun, this would be a great sight for a shotgun. 3 MOA dot, great for a shotgun sight. The dot is clear. I do have an astigmatism, so whenever I look at a dot, it looks a little bit different. But what I've done is I took a picture with my cell phone, and I looked at it, and it had a perfect round dot. There wasn't any distortion. I didn't notice any real color shift when looking through the glass versus not looking through the glass. It was very, very clear, very crisp image. It looked really good, and it was very easy to pick up the target. The target I was shooting at was a 8-inch steel plate at about 50 yards, spray painted orange or blue, and I had no problem picking it up. You know, it was very, very fast optic for that. Other than that, there's not much else left to say. It's a very small, very lightweight, so far very durable optic. And for the money, there are definitely worse options out there. This is a very good optic for the money, in my opinion. Your results may vary. If you have any experience with these and you'd like to share your experience, put it down in the comment section below. If you like the video, you like what you've seen, feel free to share it, and let's get the word out. These guys, so far have been a great company to work with, and I look forward to seeing what they got coming out with next. All right, see y'all next time.